Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where last episode we were looking at this traffic jam and thinking, the problem here is the accidents. Almost certainly. I'm not too concerned about it, we'll let that get cleaned up. It should be fine. I have restarted the game at this point. Performance is still feeling like it's going a bit downhill, so we may end up having to end this series pretty soon. Honestly, the series went a little longer than I thought it would, so we might do that fairly soon. That is definitely a possible thing. For now, I want to get rid of some of these abandoned structures out over here. I don't care about this, leafy greens. Go away. Okay, I'm trying to bulldoze right here. Fantastic. So that's absolutely fine. We can get rid of these, no problem. But I'm definitely feeling the frame rate dropping. There's no doubt about that. And, I mean, we're not at that big of a city, 57,000. It's not that huge. So there's definitely some performance problems there. I might be able to fiddle with the settings, potentially, and find some things that would make that improve, potentially. But I'm guessing, actually, let me just check here. Let's see. Let me pull up Task Manager real quick. I want to take a look at the CPU versus GPU utilization. Okay. So that is definitely very, very interesting. If we take a look at this here, we can see that it's currently using about 45-50% of my CPU and about 60% of my GPU. So it's definitely not a hardware utilization bottleneck. Good to know. So that's fine. We can get rid of that. And yeah, that's definitely important information for me, because that means that we're not having any sort of a hardware issue here. This is a bottleneck somewhere in software. And honestly, given what's being simulated here, that's not super shocking. Not super shocking at all. I do want to take a look at this terrain over here. I feel like we need to smooth this out a little bit. Oh, that's not at all what I was going for. That's a little bit more like what I was going for. Now I want to use a level terrain tool here, and I want to just increase the depth of this area a little bit. And then we can soften this out about like so. Yeah, that should be a little bit better on that front. Hopefully that's not going to create any massive water issues. It could. It theoretically could. But hopefully it doesn't. I just realized this is the traffic jam right here. I'm looking at the water, but we can't escape it. It is here always and forever. Unfortunately, this garbage truck has also been involved in an accident. So here's the question. Is this actually getting taken care of? I'm not 100% convinced it is. At this point, we have at least 3 lanes blocked by cars that were involved in this accident. And I don't think, and we have a couple of other accident cars over here. Do we have a road maintenance vehicle on the way? The road maintenance vehicle that has been dispatched out here is over here. This is not that far away, but it's going the wrong direction. So that's exciting. That's very exciting. Okay. We might need more road maintenance vehicles. We can see that there's an accident here. There's a police car securing the accident site. Where is that? That's this police car. Okay. I think we probably need more road maintenance vehicles. So where are our road maintenance depots at right now? We can see that we have one here, one here. Okay. So the one up over here, boy, that frame rate is feeling low. The one up over here, we've already upgraded. I want to check the one that was out over here. Where exactly was that? Here. That's already been upgraded as well. So we may want to think about another road maintenance depot. And where would we end up putting that? Probably up over here would be my guess. How much noise pollution does that produce? Low is the amount of noise pollution, allegedly. We can just put that there, and then I'm going to add in an extra garage. Clearly, we need additional road maintenance vehicles. We can take a look at our road maintenance setup here. Okay, so this is road condition. The road condition specifically here is bad. Everywhere else, it's broadly okay. That's kind of weird. Sure. So it looks like this is actually beginning to improve. We're still completely cut off on this side, but these guys are moving now. This is not the same traffic jam, is it? No, that was this traffic jam, which it looks like this has now been taken care of. I don't know if they despawned or if they were actually taken care of. However, this traffic is now beginning to move. So that is absolutely fantastic. We are happy to see that. I don't think there's anything that needs to be done here other than simply waiting for this traffic to clear itself. It will happen. Did you forget to turn your headlights on? Wait, what is happening here? Trying to turn into this lane? Why? Okay, they were leaving here, and it was trying to go this way. There was no reason to stop there. It could have just gone up over here and then moved over. Okay, whatever. Are they flashing their lights at each other? That might actually be happening here. That would be pretty neat if it was. But this should clean up very, very soon. That should be no problem. As far as this down here goes, that is cleaned up. No problem at all. Okay. So, as expected, that does end up cleaning itself up. Now, we've still got these houses out over this way, where the only problem that I can find is the noise pollution. And I don't know where they get the noise pollution from. If we look at our noise pollution map here, why does this house have noise pollution? And these ones that are literally right next to the Dale Highway do not. I have no idea. I feel like that is not how that's supposed to work. For the time being, we're still going to go through and remove these random houses that are affected by this. So that's fine for now. How are we doing on population here? We're at 58,000. Okay. That's looking reasonably solid. I don't want to end this series quite yet for performance reasons. What I want to do is I want to get a bit into the mass transit system. I feel like we're on the cusp of needing that, but we're not quite there yet. And with our finances going down, that is a concern, especially with that new road maintenance depot going in. So that is definitely a concern there. And we need to get our finances turned around well, before we can start putting in a mass transit system. The mass transit system I'm expecting to be a cost center for us. Fares are probably not going to pay for its construction anytime soon. So for now, this is reasonably fine. Makes the air feel cleaner. Sure. So speaking of clean air, how are we doing with the pollution zone? Well, it's definitely polluted. So that is fine. We're not shocked about that, of course. Overall, we're mostly just waiting at this point for, well, a couple of things to change. We're ticking forward at maximum speed here. We are seeing our low-density residential demand tick up. To that end, we're probably going to need to develop some additional housing down in the southern area of the city. That'll be a soon thing. We're not quite to that point yet. I think I'll let this tick up until we get to about halfway on the demand. And we'll see how that goes. Also, potentially, we need to let that demand tick up. Wouldn't it be interesting if this demand ticked up and then filled, and then that made people willing to settle for higher levels of demand? I don't know if that actually works that way, but that would be interesting if it did. We might want to test that. No doubt about that. So, do we have anything going on right now? Well, it's nighttime. So, kind of no. We don't have any traffic issues as far as I'm aware. We can check in up over this direction.
You're listening to second move.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problems at all here right now. We're mostly just ticking along, not having any major problems. So that all looks good for right now. No problem at all. We do have a number of abandoned structures out over here, which is not surprising. This is that noise issue. So let's get rid of these. We don't want to allow them to proliferate. That's not how houses work, but even so, let's not allow them to reproduce. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all of these. We're just culling the herd here. Fantastic. There's one out over this direction. This one's fair enough. In my opinion, there probably is a noise problem here. Absolutely fair enough on that one. So, we are a thriving metropolis right now, apparently, at under 60,000 people,
As a traveler from my homeland,
which is certainly intriguing. What else do we have going on up over this way? We can get rid of that guy. We can get rid of this one out over here.
Now, my good fellow, chin up, as it were.
And of course, this is actually helping our demand a tiny amount anyway. Each one of these is territory that could be being built, so that is fine for the moment. We're up to 58,434. People are moving in at almost 1,000 per hour. That's relatively speedy, actually. No doubt about that, and that's good because our finances are continuing to go south. That should change fairly soon. I'm wondering how we're doing on electricity. It should be absolutely fine. Yeah, we're not importing or exporting any electricity, and we may want to consider exporting electricity. So to that end, we have an electric line out here, and that's the only electric line around.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, so what we would end up doing here then is we would want to put in a transformer station. This is only high voltage to low voltage. Is there a way to transfer from low voltage to high voltage? Or are we going to have to run a power line all the way over to here somehow? We could do that. But this high voltage power is not actually connected to anything. We are connecting the low voltage power, but if we connect the high voltage power here, so what I was thinking was like buying a couple of tiles over this way and running up like that. But if we did that, this would not actually get connected. These are currently disconnected, and we can reconnect them. So that would end up being somewhere over here, but we would need to like bump up the altitude. Like that. So that's now connected. And then we've got this transformer station here, which is not actually doing anything. So I'm going to bulldoze that. That can go away. And we are going to immediately zone this low-density housing, like so. That'll be absolutely fine. It's very strange to me that this is the only export power line on this map, but it truly is. That is the only export power line. So we need to connect this over, and we need to connect this over. So what would that end up looking like? And all of these... Wind turbines only export low, right? Yeah, that's only low voltage, so we cannot export wind turbine power. But we absolutely can export a lot of electricity here. There's no doubt about that. So, to that end, I absolutely do want to do so. So I think we're going to need to purchase a few additional tiles here. If we were to purchase these, how much would this end up costing us? A little over $1 million? I'm going to do it. Okay. Now we're going to temporarily run a power line out this direction. And we're going to take that across the highway. And then across the river. And like I said, this is temporary. We're going to have to change this around, but I want to then run this down to here. And now we should have capability of exporting power here. So we can get those out of there. That gives us a little bit of extra zoned area. We're not currently exporting any. Interesting. We'll have to see. I think all of our power is currently going into our battery charge at this moment. So that's reasonably fine. Now we need to pull power from here. And again, I'm going to run a temporary line out over this direction. That was odd. I think we're going to have to pull the power out of here. Okay. And then that's going to come down this way in a really, really ugly fashion. And then we're just going to bring that over and up. Just like that. Cool. So that connects all of our power together. That also means that we should be able to put that dam power from the south into our battery banks. So yeah, we can see this is going to be full in 30 minutes, charging at 169 megawatts. That's absolutely fine. What other emergency battery stations do we have? And also, we can put in an additional battery bank here. And so I shall. I think we might have additional battery stations around. I think we have 2 of them. Yes, one up over here. This can also get an additional battery bank. And yes, that'll be kind of expensive, but we can do that. And we can see that this is currently not actually charging. Okay, I'm not sure if the solar power plant battery will charge up off of our grid power or not. I guess it wouldn't make much sense for it to charge out of our grid power. So that's reasonably fine for now. Looks good. So all of our power is currently going in, I believe, into these emergency battery stations. Plus 280 megawatts, and this is only 29.3 megawatts. So most of our power is coming here. But we can see, based on our generation, we are producing 1,500. That's a lot. Okay, we are selling off 283 megawatts right now. And we're consuming 153. And we know another roughly 100 are currently, or rather, more than 100, roughly almost 300 are going into our battery charges. Okay. Well, how much are we actually... Right, I accidentally turned off the UI. How much are we actually making from that? So can we see in here, or maybe in here, how much we're getting from exporting our power? It's some, but it's not enough to... Actually, it's quite a bit. Minus 6,000? That's apparently quite a lot. So let's see here. Service trade. Plus 700,470. Now this is, I believe, in per month numbers. Which, remember, a month is a day in this game. Time is very confusing in this game, to be honest. A month is a day, but all of these come in hourly numbers, which is, you know, it's kind of a lot. No doubt about that. But we are making a good amount of exported electricity. We could potentially think about exporting water as well, but do we have an external water connection available? Somebody had a traffic accident up here? Okay, that's not our problem. I don't know how to actually export water, so we'll not do that for now. Do we have things like docks at this point? Yes. We do, but they're not unlocked yet. Okay, that's fine. We definitely do need to unlock more things. There are a few more things to unlock here, starting about here. We've unlocked everything up this way. We need to unlock quite a number of nodes yet, though. So that's fine. We will continue to grow here for the moment. And honestly, just selling the electricity got us a long ways towards this. So that's great. Our emergency battery stations are going to be full in, well, this one is going to be full in 16 minutes. So when that gets finished up, full in 15 minutes now, when that gets finished up, we should absolutely see, well, At that point, we're going to be charging this battery bank, right? That's going to be full in 8 hours. But eventually, once both of these are full, then we should see even more electricity get exported at that point. So that's reasonably fine. We're making quite a lot of electricity, or quite a lot of money from our electricity export. And that number will go up in the daytime as well, because we have this big old solar plant up over here, which is currently not producing anything because it's night. And that's reasonably expected. We could upgrade the backup battery, but I mean, that's 42,000 per month. I think we'll avoid that for now. I don't want to increase our costs additionally. So for now, I see absolutely no reason to do that. There's an electricity bottleneck. Somewhere there are electric cables or lines that have exceeded their capacity and a bottleneck has formed. Buildings down the line from the bottleneck have been cut off and are not receiving the electricity they need. Okay, so there's an electric line down here, which is actually very convenient for us. Redirecting electricity flow with a transformer and some power lines. Okay, sounds good. So the bottleneck is down this way. That's interesting. It's not a problem with production. It's just that there's a bottleneck down here. So to that end, we can absolutely build a transformer down over here, where we just happen to have a power line. So a transformer down this way. Where are we? Here we go. A transformer station somewhere down here. Approximately there. And then we can just do something like that. That should solve it. There we go. What do we have going on here? I see. There's been an accident here. Okay. So people are trying to merge in over here because this is blocked due to this taxi. There's an SUV here and a muscle car here. The police are present, securing the accident site, but this lane closure is going to be... Whoa. That semi is very glowy when we zoom out. This lane closure is going to be a bit problematic for these guys, of course. Once they get past it, it won't be a problem. But just having to merge over here does create this kind of a traffic jam. Are you trying to exit here? I feel like you can't do that. They will navigate past this eventually, but this is just caused by the accident. So my question is, this guy here, where is the road maintenance vehicle? It is currently here. And in fact, there are 2 road maintenance vehicles right in a row here. I feel like that's not helpful, but okay. It's also a very long ways away from where we need it to be, which is down over here. Cool. All the crime around. There's not all that much crime, to be honest. So it seems fine. I'm not too concerned about that. I am very concerned about this traffic cleaning up, but it should happen. I was thinking about tossing another lane in here temporarily on this side. We could think about doing that and having this go to a highway, 3-lane one-way highway, but I don't think we have room here. Yeah, we don't have room for that. We would have room if we did it like this, but that doesn't help our bottleneck. This does, though. I think. Okay. Now they should be able to bypass this. And once this gets cleaned up, we should be able to take that back down to 2 lanes. Or we can leave it like this forever, which would be reasonably fine.
For the immediate area due to poor road conditions.
You can go. Go ahead. Everybody's stopping here, I think, because this taxi. But at the very least, they're not trying to merge over anymore. Well, they are up over here. But they're not trying to merge into 1 lane of traffic, so at least some of these guys get to go a little bit more regularly. That should allow this traffic flow to break up and start to advance, at least a little bit. Oh.
Abandoned building.
That's right, Jim.
These guys are
This
gone.
decaying
I guess the
shell
police
is a
officer
symbol of
secured the site.
industrial
He's gone now
decline
too.
sweeping
Okay,
the
so
city.
now we can take
People
this
are being
back
laid
down
off.
to
The
a
industrial
2-lane
sector
highway.
is on the verge of collapse.
There we go.
And worryingly, crime is on the rise.
Thanks, kid.
They'll get that figured
Always
out
gotta
eventually.
Watch out for crime, not to mention collapsing buildings. We'll have more after this.
Indeed. They'll get that figured out eventually. So there we go. That seems fine.
On a traffic accident, somewhere.
Yep. That
in
seems
the
fine.
city.
This traffic jam will clean up. They will get that solved. So no problem whatsoever there, all things considered. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see if we can turn this around to a positive number once the sun comes up. That'll be very interesting to find out. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.